Hi everyone, welcome to Electric Car Australia, and in today's video we're going to talk about a subject that, while not specific to electric vehicles, seems to have really ramped up in the last couple of months, and that's road rage. So stay with us. This video is brought to you by Regen EV Charging Install, Australia's residential and commercial EVSE installation specialists. Links to these sponsors are in the show notes. Welcome back to the channel, and if this is the first time you've joined us, thanks very much. Really appreciate you dropping by, and if you don't mind, click that subscribe button. It really helps us out. And at the end of the video, if you've enjoyed it, please give it the thumbs up. And don't forget, if you'd like some one-on-one independent advice, if you're thinking of buying an EV, check out my website and you can book an appointment. The website's below. So, road rage, it seems to be on the increase, and I think anyone that lives in a metropolitan city area will agree. When you go out on the road, people seem more aggressive and impatient than they ever used to be. So probably not so much of a problem in regional areas and country areas, but certainly in the city. And we've noticed a big escalation in it in Brisbane, where I live, on the southern suburbs. I mentioned in the short video I'd done a few hours ago that we've recently changed schools in one of our kids, and that means a lot more driving. So we're spending around 120, 130 kilometres per day on motorways and various exits, entrances, off-ramps, suburban streets. That's per day just to go to school, and then you've got your usual after-school events and you've got your weekend driving around. And in the last 12 months, road rage has definitely ramped up. And to demonstrate that point, somebody I know recently stopped at a red light. They had a road rager jump out of his car, reef the door open and sock the guy in the side of the head. And he's been off work now for nearly 2 weeks and is still recovering. So whether it's just road rage, someone giving you the bird, blowing the horn, giving you a dirty look, or even physically assaulting you while you're stopped, it's definitely happening more and more. So let's relate this back to electric vehicles. So when I started the channel 4 years ago, there was not many EVs on the road. So obviously the Nissan Leaf had been out for about 10, 12 years, so people that knew what they were looking at knew a Nissan Leaf. But for somebody that didn't know what they were looking at, it probably just looked like a normal little hatchback. So you can cross that one off the list. People didn't know. Teslas, of course, were out, and Tesla have only ever made electric vehicles. So whenever anybody spotted a Tesla, they knew it was an electric vehicle. Now, speaking to a few Tesla owners over the years, there was the odd vandalism event. Somebody would key the side of the car in a car park, or they'd go past and try and rip the side mirror off, etc. But the thing about Teslas is they have Sentry mode, so there's a lot of cameras around the car, and if you've got the Sentry mode turned on, the camera would record all that. So a lot of those people that thought they'd be a bit of a smarty, damaged the car, they actually got caught out, often were able to be identified, and they were fined. But I'd say it was pretty rare. But in the last couple of years, when EVs are becoming much more commonplace, a lot more EVs on the road, the aggression from those people that don't like electric vehicles for whatever reason seems to have really ramped up. And of course, there's more and more EVs on the road and people are aware of it. So this comes back to our personal experience. So 4 years ago when we started, I decided to start this channel as more of a community service, community education type thing. I don't make any money out of the channel, so it's certainly not for that. I have a full-time job as well. I do appreciate the sponsors that we have and also the people that kick me a few dollars. It helps pay for some expensive camera gear, mics and all that sort of stuff, but I don't make money out of it. So I was promoting it, so I had the signs up the side of the car. Now they were magnetic signs, we didn't have them on all the time. I had a sticker on the front mudguards, and I'll just put a little graphic of that one up now that says 100% electric. I had the couple of little stickers on here, powered by the sun. I had another little electric one here. Obviously electric vehicle, enjoy the silence sticker on there. And That was to promote it, because this car didn't look like an electric vehicle either. So it was like the Nissan Leaf. These MG ZS's are made in petrol as well as electric. Most people looked at it and they thought it was a petrol. So I put this signage on to promote the idea that it was electric, get people to ask the questions. Oh, so you've got an electric car, how far does it go? How quick can you charge it? All those stock standard questions. And that was great back then. We got the odd little someone giving you the finger, the bird, because, you know, they thought, oh, electric, what a waste of time. But it wasn't too bad. But recently it seems to have really ramped up. Now, we're not going to get into stereotypes and stuff. However, by far the biggest majority of people who come right up behind you, they're either blowing the horn or they're really trying to drive up behind you to scare you as if they're going to run into the back of you. They'll pull out and go around you very close at reasonably high speed, just all that sort of general craziness. Unfortunately, it's didn't want to sort of go into it too much, but let's say majority of males, that's sort of 20 to 30, and they're generally in sort of 3 to 5 year old diesel vehicles. They just seem to be over the top aggressive. I don't know why. Their girlfriend's had a tiff with them, the boss is not paying them enough money, whatever it is, but they just seem to be overly aggressive. Now, of course, that's not all, but oftentimes I'd say 3 out of every 5, you look in the mirror or you see them go past, sure enough, that's who it is. So that leads to what's happening today. These stickers are coming off the car. So for about the last 18 months, we haven't been putting the magnetic signs on the car. We've already pulled a couple of stickers off that we had on the side windows there. The wife's already pulled this one off, but she wants to take these stickers off because she's thinking that this is stirring these aggressive drivers up even more. Now, I'm sitting on the fence whether they are or not, but today we're going to give it a go, and our electric vehicle Enjoy the Silence sticker is coming off, and our little Powered by the Sun sticker. I'm hoping to leave the 100% electric ones on the front mudguards on the sides, because I don't think they're going to aggressively upset anyone because they don't really see them. But if somebody's behind you and you're turning right into a side street, it just seems to be that extra little piece of advertising here just fires them up even more. Recently, the Transport Department closed off the end of our street. We used to be able to turn left or right from the end of our street. They put in a big, they removed a roundabout and they put in a big set of traffic lights, and they made the end of our street only left turn. So to come into our street, we have to turn right off a main road a few streets down and come sort of down around in the back way. So every day when we're heading north towards our house, we have to stop on a main road to turn right across traffic, and people get aggressive and I was going to say excited, but annoyed that you have to turn right. They'll rip out the side, up the footpath and around you. It's not our fault. They've changed the roads around. There's side streets off a main road. We're quite entitled to do it. Hundreds of other people that live in the suburb do it as well. But just because it's a main road, these idiots think that they own the road. It's a 60 km/h zone. It's a suburban street, yet they just terrorise, or have been terrorising my wife, and she's been quite concerned with young kids in the car. So off come the stickers today, and we'll see if it makes any difference. So I guess there's two parts to today's video. The first part is, if you're an electric car owner and you've been an owner for the last 3-5 years, have you seen an increase in aggression just in general? And specifically, do you think you've seen an increase in aggression and road rage towards yourself because you're driving an electric vehicle? I'd really like to know. So if people could leave some comments in the show notes and let me know. Also, let me know a little bit of context. So do you have some sort of sticker on your car that advertises the fact? Obviously, all of us have to have the little EV sticker on our number plate. That's law, so we're not going to be able to take that off. That has to be on every EV. But I don't think some of these knuckleheads would even notice that. I can understand the bigger sticker on the back window, it's looking straight at them at eye level, that probably stirs them up a bit, but the EV on the number plate, I don't think they probably even notice. But if you are an EV owner, I'd really appreciate you letting me know whether you've seen an increase in aggression or not. And if you're new to EVs or you're thinking of getting an EV, I'd also like your thoughts, I guess, on whether you thought this was a problem. Now, as I mentioned, it's not specifically EVs, everyone has this problem. I ride a motorcycle as well, and sometimes I get aggression with people cutting me off on the motorcycle, particularly if I'm doing the speed limit. These days people seem to think that 10 to 15 k's over the speed limit is a standard thing. So if you're on the motorcycle and you're doing the speed limit, they'll roar out, overtake you and then rip in. So it's not specific to electric vehicles, it's not even specific to cars, it's all types of vehicles. But if you are new to EV or thinking of buying an EV, was this something that you'd even considered? And if it wasn't, is it something that worries you? Now, that's not the intent of this video to worry anyone or scare anyone. Like I said, it depends on lots of things. We've even found it can depend on the time of the day you're driving around. So school pickups when tradies, and I certainly don't say this to bag out tradies, I've got a lot of good mates that are tradies, but it seems to be that sort of couple of hours in the morning, couple of hours in the afternoon, when a lot of these idiots seem to be on the road at the same time. It seems to be worse. Through the middle of the day, everyone seems to be a bit chilled out, not as many problems. And I'd argue that the middle of the day, that's when you've got courier drivers and delivery drivers and mail drivers, and you've got all these guys that are working for a living. They don't act like this. It's just a few idiots that are spoiling it for everyone else. So yeah, if you're new to EVs, it's not meant to scare you, frighten you that you can be expected to be targeted. That's not the case. It's just to consider it, I guess be aware of it, and maybe not do so many stickers like me. So look, that's it for the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It was only short. It was meant to just trigger some thoughts if you are new to EVs. If you've had an EV for a while, it was to get some, I guess, other sense checks against our experience to see whether you'd have a similar experience. So I would really appreciate you putting those in the show notes. And of course, let me know if you'd like to see any other types of videos, and try and think of ones that the other YouTube EV channels aren't doing. I am looking at doing some more on all the new EVs that have came into Australia in the last 12 months, because I've been a bit slack on covering those. But lots of other channels do those as well. So if you've got a particular thing that you think would interest you and would interest a lot of other people, stick it in the show notes and I'll consider doing a video on that in the future. And of course, a final reminder, if you are new to the channel, please click that subscribe button, give the video the thumbs up if you enjoy it, and click that bell icon, all that good stuff, because it really does help the algorithm. YouTube has been slowly making it harder and harder for small little channels to get out there. They're funneling all the eyeballs to the really big major channels with millions of followers. So any little bit of help you can do, I really appreciate it. Again, if you'd like some personalised one-on-one advice, book a session using the booking form on the website below. And if you wanted to flick me a couple of dollars as a once-off donation or sign up as a monthly member, that would be absolutely appreciated. You can do that on the links below. Other than that, look after your friends and family, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.